Hey, this is Paul Evans, your free online business coach, and I got to tell you right out of the gate here in episode 2, I feel like I've already broken my word. Not on the free training part, not on the free coaching part, not on the no offer part. That's all true, but I said yesterday that I was old school and that I wouldn't be doing any hyper editing, that I wasn't going to do all the newfangled slick and all the fanciest effects on my videos, and yet look behind me. Giant post-it note with a diagram. Tell you what, I feel like a millennial, even though I'm old. But don't act like I can't enter the times. Don't act like I don't know it's 2020. All right, so we've got a couple of questions today. And I want to let you know that this Saturday, I'm going to cover the entire monetization matrix. It won't be super long. It's going to be a layout of the plan, kind of the format that I use for online businesses, whether I'm doing affiliate marketing, whether I'm selling my own products. And so we'll cover that kind of start to finish in an overview, and then we'll start diving into each one of the sectors over time, over the next few weeks, and hopefully give you a great foundation overall to make fantastic decisions about your online business. So, first question today comes from Alan. And he says, Paul, your free coaching offer is unprecedented. I'm quite surprised and don't know what else to say, but thank you. Thank you, Alan. Because the truth is, if you don't turn any questions in, this is going nowhere fast. Here are 2 questions for your upcoming video coaching segments, which is happening right now because he was one of the first turning a question. I've subscribed and hit the bell for notifications. Hey, great, Alan. Everybody else, make sure you subscribe right now. Hit the bell for notifications because I'm not emailing out. If you end up joining an email list, there's nothing for sale on the list. There's no offers, but I'm not going to be doing regular updates. The best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel, hit the alerts, and that way when something new comes out, you'll automatically get notified. So his first question is, how do I determine the price for a downloadable course in the self-improvement category? My course is comprised of 2 hours of audio, transcript of that audio into an ebook, and a workbook for the course. I currently have it priced at $97, and I'm thinking a smarter price point might be $47. The truth is, it's always going to come down to testing. But outside of the test, we want to try to make sure that our products are priced right out of the gate. And one of the best ways to do that, I call it the pricing protocol. And you'll notice behind me the name pricing protocol with the TM. I've seen all the gurus do this. Put a TM after any name that you create. Makes it sound like it's even better than it actually is. So when you're looking at any industry in the knowledge sector that you're going to help people get from point A to point B, with as little effort as possible, or if it's extreme struggle, you're giving them process that hopefully is going to enable them to move to the end result that they desire, right? So what I do is I use this matrix, and the HL stands for how long. So bottom left, HL, how long? How long have they had this problem? Has it been 10 days? Has it been a month, 6 months, a year, 10 years? The longer they've had the problem and they've not settled into it, they've not accepted it, they still want to change it, the higher you're going to be able to charge because they've had this ongoing issue over and over and over again. Now, let me give you a quick sidebar, and if you're taking notes, I'd write this down. The top 3 to 5 issues in every industry never go away. Nobody ever conquers them. There never needs to be another diet book or workout book or business book ever written. Actually, all the knowledge is out there, but we so crave the new or the different or the angle or here's something else that's going to come in. When I owned the gym years ago, we actually had aerobics, and that's all it was called was aerobics. That was it. There was no Pilates. There was no circuit training. There was no Zumba. None of that existed. The key was you're getting your heart rate elevated at enough level, and at the precise level, it's going to help you burn maximum fat, right? But people always love the different and the change and the new because we get bored so easily. But how long have you had the problem? So if you've got it in the top 3 to top 5 issues that never change, so Alan, I don't know exactly what your problem is that you're solving within this sector, but let's say it's confidence. That's never going away. There's always going to be insecurity. And people need help becoming more secure and more confident, right? So someone who's been wrestling with their confidence short term, like a momentary hiccup at work, does not seek the type of answer somebody who has wrestled with confidence for 25 years and feels like it's inhibiting their entire life, right? So HL is how long. Now HD is how deep. How deep? How much does this hurt the person? How much are they just torn up that this will not be solved? Because you can have a problem for 10 years. But if it's level 1 out of 10 on the depth meter, it doesn't really matter. And you don't really care if you change it or not. But if you've had a problem for 10 years and it's at like level 8, well, you want to get it solved. So how long, how deep, and then HF is how fast. How fast can you solve this problem? So look at the blue line here. If somebody has a problem for, say, 8 years, and it's at a depth of 8, and you can solve it in just a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of hours. Often I'll tell public speakers, I can solve your public speaker fear in 30 seconds. It's just a mental trick, but it's possible when it's aligned right. So if you can do it fast, this is worth a lot more money. If they've had a problem for a long time, and it's really impacting them emotionally, and you can solve it fast, you can charge more money. Now, on the opposite side, if somebody's had a problem for a short amount of time, and it's going to take a long time to fix that little bitty problem, you can't charge much for it because nobody cares. Nobody's going to pay money for it. Now, think about in this internet marketing online business world with all these giant courses that are lasting 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 months, a year of coaching. You know, the truth is people are buying that because they've got this intense problem that they feel like can only be solved by paying out maybe $2,000, maybe $25,000, but they're believing in an answer. They're not simply thinking, I want to go and get educated. And that's the way I think we ought to process. But they're thinking this is the answer and I'm going to go put this money into it, right? So when it comes to your product, whether it's 97, whether it's 47, whether it's $29.95, whether it's $14.95, whether it's $7. The question is, how long has this individual had the problem? How deep is it? How quick do they want it solved? So that's why it's hard to price at times in the intellectual property industry, because you've got some people of great need and some people of less need, and price is interpreted differently. So I would say, if whatever price you decide on, whether it's 47 or 97, if it's 97, then where can you find that audience that has that long-term problem, that emotionally deep problem, and they want to get it solved fast? Because those are the ones that would pay the higher amount. And if you've got higher levels in your particular offerings, it's going to make a difference as well. So now the second question Alan asked is, if I wanted to master marketing that product online, what course of yours would be best to start with? And please listen to this answer, because I think it could be rare. I don't actually have a course that is ideal for the self-development market. That doesn't mean I couldn't develop it. So don't act like I couldn't. But the truth is, I don't have a product that fits that market, because that's very specific. And I want to encourage everybody who decides to go out and promote a course or decides to go out and make an impact and make a difference, to not simply go out there and buy something and hopefully you feel like you can apply it to your industry. Find someone in your industry that's been successful in that particular sector and learn from them. Like if somebody goes, hey, I can get you traffic through Facebook. Okay. I mean, I can throw a dead cat and hit about 1,000 people on Facebook who make that profit. Somebody else raises their hand and says, I can show you how to get well-targeted, affluent traffic to your self-development offers. Okay, now we're diving into something that makes sense, right? So align your goal within your niche to the product that you buy and the outcome that you want. Now, if that doesn't exist, then buy products realizing it's more about an education than an actual result. And we're going to do a video in the future of why that happens and how we're actually buying somebody else's expertise and trying to apply it to our non-expertise level. So we'll dive into that probably a couple of weeks from now. Now, the second question today comes from Gayle. And actually it wasn't a question, it was a statement that I thought a lot of other people may have connected with. And so we'll hit this relatively quickly. And this is from Gayle. She says, your offer is amazing and I'm in. Great, Gayle. Everybody else get in as well. I was thinking I could not be the only person in this exact situation. I've spent so many years, so much money, that I've found myself just lately numb. I think that's a great word. I think that a lot of people feel that way. And I know that I've been through that. There were times when I was building my business and I was buying all kinds of courses. And here's what's crazy. So I've told you, and I think it's probably down in the show notes, that I did not even join a mastermind, buy one of the giant courses, get coaching or anything until I was making 30 grand a month online. And actually then I got another business that was making 60 a month online. And then I decided to go out and buy all these courses. And you know what happened? I got confused. I got overwhelmed. I over implemented. I went crazy nuts building out a site, and when I really didn't even need to do that. So the problem is sometimes when we're out there buying all this stuff, we finally shut down. We do get numb because we're worn out, because all of the promises that we heard and all of the hope and the hype that was delivered, that we feel like, man, this was it. And I've done boom, 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 boom. And I don't feel like I'm any further along than I was at the very beginning. I've got a little bit more knowledge, but my business isn't really taking off. So I totally get that. She says, having been successful in other businesses in my 20s and 30s, I kept working and spending to find that level of success online. And I think that's the critical statement. I think a lot of us have been successful offline. And by successful, if I use Earl Nightingale's definition, that it's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. A lot of us had jobs, and maybe we didn't like our boss, but we liked what we did, and we got a stable income and a stable check. Listen, guys, that's successful. I don't care about all of the hype marketing out there that acts like if you got a job, you're doing the worst disservice to yourself and your family. I think that's dumb. I think having a job is great. I think getting a steady paycheck is awesome. And we have a lot of talk today about side hustles. If that's what you're starting, that's fantastic. If you're hoping to move totally into business, hey, that's fantastic too. But online and offline business are very, very, very difficult. And I've got just a couple of reasons why. First of all, offline, there's an item, there's a transaction, and the trust level is very high. So if I decide today that I'm going over here to the candle shop, because you can tell I'm a candle kind of guy. If I go into the candle shop, I don't actually care who owns the shop. All I care about is that they've got candles and they've got the kind I want, right? The end. It's an item. It's a transaction. I don't really have to trust anything except that when I light the candle, there's going to be a flame. The end. Same way on Amazon. Even though that's online, we get online. It's the same. We trust it. And especially if you got Prime, pretty much every single time your products get there in 2 days. Because it's transactional. There's very little trust that's even needed, and we've got high trust in the platforms already. We've got high trust in local businesses that have delivered. Now in the service sector, it's a little bit different. Service is a lot more about relationships, and then the trust level starts very, very, very low. However, if you're working locally, the truth is you can take somebody to lunch and you might be able to win them over in an hour that they begin to trust you. You connected, because face-to-face relationships makes all the difference in the world. You think about if someone's a wealth manager in your town, you've already got somebody that's managing your money, but you're not necessarily in love with them. You're not crazy about them. And a wealth manager contacts you because they've got a new product line, a new service line that is really being able to leverage the current economic strength. And they say, hey, let's go to lunch at X restaurant, which you love. And they're going to pay for it. Okay. Hey, worst case scenario, I got out with a free meal and I got bored to death about finances for an hour. But that hour is very valuable to that wealth manager, because there could be a conversion that takes place, rapport that takes place, and your money may end up being moved to a new manager, right? That's what happens in the offline world. Online, man, trust is tiny low, and you're looking at global sectors. It's a digital globe. So that somebody's already in your marketplace, it's not like local. Local, we're just competing against a handful of people. Online, there may be thousands of people in our sector. People that already know how to market. People that already, have their storyline, their funnel, everything already built out and tested. And we're coming up against them, and their name's known and our name isn't known. So as we go through the monetization matrix, the first step is going to be message. And that's one of the critical concepts, so that we get out there with the right message at the right time, okay? So when we're doing this, when we're moving online, sometimes, especially if we've been successful offline, we kind of feel like, oh, I'm going to get online. It's going to work the same. It doesn't work the same at all. And so next Wednesday, January the 8th, I'm going to I'll be answering a question about the fastest way to make money online. And I think it's going to be something that most people haven't thought of and aren't doing. But if we do, it's going to solve a lot of this trust issue, a lot of the trust issue. And so we're going to hit that. Let me see if there's anything else here from Gayle. No, everything else is just kind of personal because she's been in my space for several years, and she says, abundant thanks. Well, thank you, Gayle. Thank you, everybody else who's already turned in questions. We've got a lot of episodes planned for that. I say we've got, it's just me. A lot of episodes planned for that, and I look forward to serving you in the future. If you got questions, send those to freeonlinecoachingclub@gmail.com, freeonlinecoachingclub@gmail.com. It can be anything related to online business. Make it as specific as possible. You don't have to write War and Peace. Just send me the question with maybe a little bit of context. And then also make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the alert so you get notified. And if you've got any comments about this particular episode or anything else that's coming up, feel free to make comments. I try to reply to all of those as well. Well, here we are, second day, January 2020. As always, success is not an accident. Be blessed.